When I was born in 1993, my mother was 21 years old. The average age for a firstborn of a woman in 1995 was 23.49 years old, and the age increased to 29.13 in 2020, almost 30 years old. This is Crystal Chen. Today, let's talk about Chinese babies. Okay, now try to picture a scenario where your parents or your uncles and aunts met you on holidays and ask, are you in a romantic relationship? When are you getting married? When are you going to have a baby? Like, how would you respond? These are the favorite questions asked by the elders in China, which indicate that how important the concept of family is in China. As the Chinese old says goes, there are three forms of unfilial conduct, of which the worst is to have no children. It implies that having children is your responsibility to the whole family in China. Oh, Miu Miu wants to say hi? Okay, for the last generation, they climbed to the obsessiveness that raised children to provide for their old age, and the more the children they brought up, the more blessed they would become, which meant they thought giving birth to children is in their favor. Whereas, in the modern society, the young tend to think giving birth to children would aggravate the burden of economic pressure, life pressure, and even pressure from romantic relationship and marriage. In consequence, the young generation is more and more prudent with getting married and having children. I have been often urged to get married by my family members and participate in various blind dates. My father often told me that I should better get married as soon as possible since I would have fewer and fewer choices as I grew older. In such occasions, I would answer back, the elder a girl becomes, the more precious she becomes. We argue about it from time to time. My father always wins because I really don't want to argue with him anymore. China has always presumed uniformity in various aspects, such as the military parades in which everyone moves in unison. This is a conventional perception that this is good. That's why this is happening. No matter how successful one can be, as long as you fail to do things in the same procedures as a normal guy does, you are unsuccessful in the eyes of a great many of people in China. A large number of people might have known that China has introduced a three-child policy to encourage people to have children. But at the present, young people don't want to have children, mainly for the three reasons. First, the excessive priced housing. With the example of housing price in Shenzhen city, in many regions, it easily reached up to more than 100,000 RMB per square meter. In 2020, the average housing price in Shenzhen was 87,957 RMB per square meter. However, the average wage in Shenzhen was only 9,737 RMB. For most of the young generation in China, it is difficult to buy a house and even to rent a house. But without a house of our own, we tend to think that our children are at a different starting line with that of other children and reduced to a seriously poor living environment. Consequently, a saying goes that the excess of the high housing price is the best contraceptive. It is not the fact that many Chinese couples choose not to have children, but that high rising price and high life pressure have dumped their passion for childbearing. Secondly, in which way can women attain both childbearing and vocational development? Some people are afraid to have children because of the high housing price and unnecessarily compared with others, and others are worrying about that having children would impose a threat on their job and vocational development. In China, most of the internet giants are under the 996 work schedule and even 997 work schedule. In this case, if a woman rests at home for around half a year because of giving birth to a baby, will she keep the job? Is there any chance for promotion for her in the future? Of course, in addition to the terribly high life pressure and women's worry about having children affecting their career, changes in marriages of Chinese are also one causes for anxieties of many people. On one hand, the marriage rate in China has been declining for 6 or 7 consecutive years since 2014 and dropped all the way from 9.9% at the peak to 7.2%. In the present time, young people are becoming less and less willing to get married. The divorce rate, on the other hand, surged to a new high again and again and hit to a high record of 43% in 2019, during which 9.471 million couples got married at the registry and 4.154 million couples got divorced. As a matter of fact, in many countries around the world are seeing declining fertility rates, where many couples are confronted with similar fertility struggles. In today's China, young people have too many unnecessary worries and anxiety about fertility. Whether or not do they come from reality, but from our hearts. Perhaps only by dealing with the problems from deep inside can it not become an over-amplified anxiety for youth to decide whether or not to give birth to our children, but merely a natural outcome. Please let me know how is childbearing in your country and what's your thoughts after seeing today's video. This is Crystal. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.